Fed up with being called fascist? Fed up with being called racist? Well, this is the channel for you. We are the rebel right wing. Comment, follow, like and share. Now today we're going to talk about the British Home Secretary, the Pakistani UK Home Secretary. Let's get it right. Now, Mahmood, she suggests that all those on the right wing of politics are nationalists and that they are far-right activists. She suggests that patriotism is a different entity and that this is acceptable over an unacceptable nationalism. Okay, let's pick this apart, shall we? Because I think we need to know what the meanings of nationalism and patriotism are. Is she correct? What do you think out there, you traitorous left-wing scum? Why don't you write in the comments what you think as well, huh? So, nationalism meaning the identification with one's own country and support for its interests, especially to the exclusion or detriment of the interests of other countries and their people. Okay, that's nationalism. Patriotism. Patriotism is the quality of being patriotic, the devotion to and vigorous support for one's nation and country. Okay, so if we study the meaning of nationalism, we can now understand Mahmood's views regards to nationalism. She's thinking about exclusion, detriment, other countries and their people. She's basically thinking about herself and the foreigners within the UK. So nationalism and being nationalistic is a way to protect one's own country, i.e., natives' country, from foreign people's influence, invasions, and infiltration. Let me repeat, nationalism and being nationalistic is a way to protect one's own country. Don't forget that, native British. It's our right as natives to be nationalistic. And I think, as a foreigner, Mahmood is threatened by nationalism. Because she's a foreigner, and she always will be. She's not British, she's Pakistani. Now, unfortunately for Mahmood, she has been allowed to reside in a country of native people, i.e. the UK, not an assimilated land built off of colonialism and multiculturalism, like some other places. Although for 70 years we the natives have and are being assimilated and displaced, influenced, invaded and infiltrated by foreigners. This is a fact. It's not racist. All you guys on the left, you traitors, it is not racist. So, Mahmood and her attack on the British natives. Unfortunately, let's have a think about this. Her attack on the natives is clear. She is very clear on her stance that the UK cannot accept or put up with any type of nationalist behaviour. And furthermore, she intends to push the false narrative of a false reality that the UK is a multicultural nation, which demands patriotism to that diversity and colonialist plan of the left. Yes, that's right. I repeat, the colonialist plan of the left. But you see, that just isn't reality. No matter how much you repeat it, the UK is not a multicultural country. It is not. But the reality is that their plan is to assimilate and displace more and more natives. It's already happening. It's been happening for decades, and no one can deny this. Not even you leftist traitors. You can't even deny this. She insists that the native British be branded far right. And if they object to the left's narratives of a globalist, colonialist, multicultural society, then the left will clamp down upon the British natives. If that is, the right wing continue to push their rebellion against the last 70 plus years of unfettered immigration and current immigration policies in the British Isles. But of course, we must rebel. If we don't rebel, more and more native people, our children, will be displaced and assimilated by foreigners like Mahmood. Fact. It is a fact. It cannot be denied. It cannot be denied. Now, let's talk about foreigners and natives. What is the difference? Well, I think it's important to highlight some elements regards to what a foreigner is. A foreigner is someone whose native country is foreign to the British Isles. A foreigner is someone who is born to parents whose native country is foreign to the British Isles. Now listen, if my wife, as an example, gave birth to our children in, say, India, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, or even China, our children would be English and have no rights to acquiring a passport or citizenship in said country. It's a fallacy that people think they have the right or privilege to just go get a residency wherever the hell they like. This is a leftist ideology, globalist, colonialist, multiculturalist narrative that they have spun. The left have spun this to try and normalise it. It is not normal and it needs to be unwound. Now, Mahmood, she is a Pakistani, not British, and she will never be British. She is a foreigner on native British land. There is nothing, I say again, there is nothing racist about this statement. It is a fact, the truth. Deal with it, you damn traitors on the left. Now, it is important to know that foreigners who interact with natives and have children with natives should have a choice on where their native country is. After all, who wants to get in the way of love? But dual passports? Really? No way! Now why? Now let's have a look at this. Why does patriotism and nationalism actually go hand in hand, Mahmood? They're not separated. They're not separated, they go hand in hand. Let me explain why. And listen carefully, guys, because you can use this. A native British person recognises that their nation, a country considered as a body of people united by common descent, history, culture, or language, inhabiting a particular area or territory, and I'll add to that, in the body of land that the natives have evolved on for hundreds of thousands, even millions of years. A native British person recognises that their nation is fundamentally something to love, that gives them identity and integrity, somewhere safe and sound for their children to continue to grow into. Native people are totally, inherently linked to their land. Now that is the nucleus of nationalism, and nationalism is the protection of the native lands by the native people, Mahmood. Okay? That is our right as natives, to protect our land from foreigners. Patriotism is simply the movement in vigorously supporting nationalism. To be a patriot to one's nation through nationalism. There we go, Mahmood. I hope you're listening to this. Get it straight. That is the truth. Not your twisted dialogue, not your twisted leftist narratives to try and protect your foreigner colonialists, multiculturalists. You could never understand Mahmood, could you? Never. Because Mahmood, being a foreigner in a native land, could never understand nationalism or patriotism. For one main reason. She comes from a family who unpatriotically turned their back on their nation of Pakistan, their native lands of Pakistan, chasing money through greed. Oh, come on. I don't want to hear the same old story. For a better life. They came to the UK for a better life, says those traitors on the left. I can hear you. They came to this place for a better life. Leave them alone. Well, I say this. Listen very carefully. What is better than one's native inherent links to one's native land and the opportunities that lie in one's own self-determination within that native land? And if one disagrees with the way one's native country is being run, then stand up and fight for your beliefs as a native person to that land. Or are you too much of a coward to do that? Are all foreigners in the UK cowards, turning their back on their native lands? Coming from an unpatriotic family who have helped to colonise the UK and displace and assimilate the native British, it is clear from those roots, right, only attacking the natives and protecting what they have gained from the native British in totality is all that Mahmood and the colonialists understand. I heard her clearly state what she wants. Well, what I want as a native British person is to see Mahmood's passport revoked, and for her to be repatriated with her native land of Pakistan. That would be the best thing for nature and the native British people. It would also be a good opportunity for her to make her country of Pakistan better. If that is her view. So to conclude, nationalism and patriotism 100% factually go hand in hand, no matter what the Pakistan Mahmood says. Mahmood is the UK's Home Secretary, as ridiculous as that is, has declared war on the native British people, through calling them far right and completely creating an alternative reality regards to her suggesting that nationalism is a tool for the far right. She enforces that we native British should be patriotic to the colonialist, multiculturalist foreigners in their reality that they are creating with the left and their followers, including those traitorous native British who have been hypnotised through years of marketing of the left's globalist narratives and agendas. For her to say all of this and try to enforce it is beyond treason. It's terrorism, an act of war from within, a Pakistani clearly infiltrating the UK government system and pushing for the displacement and assimilation of the native British, along with her native Pakistanis, foreigners, and far leftists. That is the truth. And the next worst thing to genocide. Get out. Go back to your native lands. Please follow, like, and share. Please comment below. Share this. We are a rebellion, and we will never stop until we reclaim our country back as native British people. Goodbye.